Hey, Trojan Nation. I am joined today by head men's basketball coach Gary Garner. The Trojans have been quite busy here over winter break, moving into the new year of 2023. The Trojans recently played two pretty big games, one against Valley City and one against Dickinson State. Coach, do you mind recapping those games for us?
Oh, I'll be happy to, especially Friday night. Friday night we played Valley City, and we played well. Valley City plays a little different than a lot of uh, than the other teams in our conference. They're going to full court press you from opening buzzer till ending buzzer, and then they're going to play a zone defense, which they're the only team in the conference that does that. So we had to really prepare and had a short period of time to get ready for all of that stuff. And our players really responded in practice. We had a good week of practice and did executed well overall. We did you're always going to make a few mistakes, but we executed against their press and against their zone really good. The second half, we shot 68%, a little over that. And so anytime you shoot 68%, you're doing something right offensively anyway. And I was just really proud of our players, how hard they played and how well they played and executed. And this team is coming together. This team, all the players really like each other, and the coaches and the players all are on the same page. And so I look for us, I'll say this several times. I look for us to down this stretch, we've got 11 conference games left, and I look for us to play well, because of the play. Our players are really considerate of each other, and they're considerate of the coaches, and the coaches are considerate of them, of course. But sometimes you have teams that don't bond as well together as this team has.
Well, that's great to hear, Coach. This is certainly an exciting time for your team now that you guys are kind of hitting your mid-season, kind of going into this later season. So that's really great. I have another fun question for you. Just because we have plenty of games under the belt for this season now, what is your favorite game from this season that has really shown you and your staff and just Trojan Nation what your team is capable of this season?
Okay, I forgot to mention Dickinson State. Let me answer that one first. Dickinson State on Saturday night, we lost the game. Dickinson State doesn't have a good record, but they've played a really tough non-conference schedule like we have. And I think they probably played one of their they're really on a roll right now. They went to Bellevue the night before and won, and then they came into our place and won. And they're a fairly young team, and that young team now is maturing. And we shot the ball really poorly. We were 1 for 12 from 3. If we make 3 or 4 of those, then, it's a totally different ball game because we lose somewhere around 10 points, and so that was a really disappointing loss to us, but again, our players played hard, and they're playing together, and they're playing like you want them to play. And so I'm very pleased with our basketball team. Now, what are we capable of doing and what games stand out? There was one game this year earlier that we played Mount Marty at Mount Marty and beat them by 32. We were just, shooting the ball well and playing well. And but we're capable of being really good, you know. And we've just gotta, it's executing is all the little things. And we haven't gotten to the point yet where we're executing all the little things. Uh, and but we're getting better all the time, all the time. We taped our what we called ODO last night. It's at practice, offense, defense, offense. It's where you go up and down the floor, and it was just the little things, and the little things can be corrected, and so I'm anxious for us to get a few more practices under our belt, and we're going to get better.
For sure, Coach. Well, that's certainly great to hear. I have one more question for you today to kind of finish off this update with the men's basketball team. What is the next team that you are really looking to go after and win against?
You know, the team we play Friday night, Mayville State, is really playing well. Their overall record is 12 and through 3, maybe 13 and 3, and they're the only team that's undefeated in the conference. They're 3 and 0. And, so that's the you know, you have to take them, Maddie, one game at a time. If you start looking down the road and saying, "Well, we can beat Mayville, but gosh, we got Bellevue coming," no, that doesn't work very well. So we've got to
Mhm.
concentrate just on Mayville, and we really try to get our players to that. Don't think about anybody but Mayville until that game's over, and get their concentration totally on Mayville. And
Mhm.
so that's this Friday night, that's the most important game of the year. Then Saturday
Mhm.
night, that's the most important game of the year. You just go from 1 to 1.
Mhm. For
Okay.
sure, coach. This is great to hear from you. We're excited for Friday night for you guys. So we'll be excited to tune in and hear how the men's team does. And thanks so much again, coach, for coming in and giving us a great update on your team.
Well, thank you for having me, Maddie.
Thank you for tuning in to another Tune In Trojans podcast. If you are interested in hearing about upcoming games, matches, and events, you can find all of that information available to you on our website at www.dsuathletics.com. And until next time, Trojan Nation, go Trojans.